17 gospel stars who lost their careers to devastating diseases. Mahalia Jackson, James Cleveland, Thomas A. Dorsey are shocking names tied to the harshness of destiny while standing at the pinnacle of music. You will be shocked to hear their stories of losing everything simply because of cruel, incurable diseases. A fact that left the entire United States in absolute shock. The fifth character will leave you completely in disbelief. We are our memory vault, your companion in this video. If you have any details to contribute, please do not hesitate to leave a comment below so we can improve every single day. Do not forget to hit the subscribe button, the like button, and turn on notifications to be the very first to watch our newest videos. Now, let us jump right into our very first characters. Mahalia Jackson. Mahalia Jackson was not merely a singer. She was a grand icon, an immortal monument of American gospel music. With a rare, powerful vocal range, she brought spiritual music out of tiny churches and onto the most magnificent international concert stages. However, that brilliant halo came with an exorbitant price tag. While at the peak of her form, the first signs of physical exhaustion began to appear during her 1952 European tour. Even though her body was racked with pain and bone-weary fatigue, she resiliently clung to the stage at times, collapsing to the point of having to cancel her schedule right from the wings in absolute despair. Things turned even worse when doctors diagnosed her with sarcoidosis, a chronic inflammatory disease that devours the body day by day. The true nightmare struck in 1964. After a relentless string of days draining every ounce of her energy, she suffered a severe heart attack and had to be hospitalized in critical condition. Her year-long recovery process stripped away the familiar work pace of a top-tier busy artist. Fatigue, high blood pressure, and persistent chest pains continuously tortured her, forcing her to cut short countless performances. In 1971, her complete physical collapse in Europe officially closed the chapter on her decades of touring across major stages. From our perspective, Mahalia Jackson's passing at the age of 60 is not only a massive loss to the music world, but also a heartbreaking story about the brutal tug-of-war between passion and physical limits. When her voice still overflowed with emotion, yet her body was utterly spent, the artist had to helplessly watch her career slip through her fingers. Could it be that behind those dazzling lights, the entertainment industry has grown far too indifferent to the health of those who dedicate themselves completely? Her legacy lives on forever, but the cruelty of illness will undoubtedly leave an unforgettable, haunting shadow in the hearts of her loyal fans. That is not all, as our next character, known as the King of Gospel, also had to face a choking truth when his voice fell permanently silent before the helplessness of modern medicine. James Cleveland. Honored as the King of Gospel, James Cleveland shaped an entire generation of spiritual music with his signature raspy and deeply emotional voice. His presence on stage always delivered an explosive source of energy, leading colossal choir groups and stirring millions of hearts. Yet tragedy struck when his most powerful weapon, his voice, was ruthlessly taken away from him. Serious cardiovascular and respiratory problems began to destroy his body during his final years. By 1990, his health had declined to the point where he completely lost the ability to sing normally, an overwhelming shock for an artist who lived entirely for music. According to his manager, Cleveland had to live in painful silence for nearly an entire year. For a man whose entire life revolved around energetic recording sessions, grand worship services, and large-scale music workshops. This stillness was nothing short of a heavy sentence for his spirit. Although he still tried to maintain a connection with pastoral activities and the music associations he founded, his ability to perform on stage shrank to virtually zero. The helpless feeling of having the message still burning brightly in his heart while his vocal cords refused to utter a single sound was truly a heartbreaking tragedy. However, what deeply touches us is this king's final flash of brilliance. Just days before closing his eyes for good, his voice unexpectedly returned in a miraculous way, just enough for him to sing briefly at church one last time. It felt like a fleeting miracle, a proud farewell message sent out to his audience. Cleveland passed away from congestive heart failure at age 59, concluding a legendary journey. We believe that even though illness stripped away his performance opportunities during his final months, the burning passion and colossal legacy left behind by James Cleveland will never be extinguished by the harshness of time or severe disease. Thomas A. Dorsey. Speaking of the roots of modern gospel music, one cannot bypass Thomas A. Dorsey, revered as the father of gospel. For half a century, he dedicated his entire intellect and passion to composing, teaching, and directly guiding countless choir groups across America. Dorsey's music was a miraculous crystallization of a superhuman memory and masterful wordplay. However, destiny was profoundly ironic when the vicious Alzheimer's disease chose to attack his very mind, the sanctuary holding his most priceless assets. Since the late 1970s, symptoms of memory decline began to gradually erode the creative capacity and communication skills of this great musician. The disease progressed slowly, yet viciously, forcing him to step down from key leadership positions at the Pilgrim Baptist Church and the National Convention of Gospel Choirs and Choruses. Just imagine a man who traveled across the nation using his voice and music to train thousands of artists was suddenly reduced to a state of total powerlessness. The most heartbreaking image is perhaps found in the 1981 documentary footage where a proud pioneer could now only sit quietly, surrounded by the very musical movement he had meticulously built with his own hands. With his memory slipping completely out of reach, Dorsey was forced to completely abandon all public activities. The devastation of Alzheimer's disease on Thomas A. Dorsey gives us a deeply reflective perspective on the extreme fragility of the human mind. The illness did not strike him down instantly through physical agony, but instead slowly stripped away his most brilliant memories, robbing him of the musical language he loved so passionately. Could it be that creation always imposes such harsh tests upon geniuses? Though he passed away at age 93 in near total silence, the melodies he penned continue to resonate globally. Our perspective is that even as his mind faded, the vitality of Dorsey's songs has forged its own eternal memory within humanity. Do not look away just yet, because right up next is the story of a musical monument who conquered the entire world only to unexpectedly collapse due to the most vicious diseases. Andraé Crouch. In the musical world, Andraé Crouch is a legendary name whose influence transcends the boundaries of gospel music. Boasting a remarkable 7 prestigious Grammy Awards and having collaborated with giant pop icons like Michael Jackson and Madonna, his talent is beyond dispute. His timeless compositions became a guiding compass for many subsequent generations of artists. However, behind that glorious track record lay a fierce survival battle against illness. During his final years, Crouch had to simultaneously fight a series of incurable ailments ranging from chronic diabetes to being cruelly tormented by 4 separate bouts of cancer. Despite his body being ravaged day by day by countless harsh medical treatments, his yearning to stand on stage never once flickered out. He once proudly declared that he would continue composing and performing as long as his feet could still carry him to the piano. But reality was brutal. How can an artist continue to shine when multiple fatal diseases tear through their physical vitality all at once? By late 2014, pneumonia and congestive heart failure struck like the final straw, forcing him to postpone the final tour of his lifetime. That was the clearest sign that his physical vessel had reached its absolute limit. Observing the final journey of Andraé Crouch, our channel cannot help but choke up before an undying warrior spirit. His exhaustion did not stem from a sudden diagnosis, but rather resulted from a chain of fatal blows delivered by cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. Even though he bravely tried to reach for the keys until his very final moments, human physiology must ultimately bow before natural law. Through this story, we realize just how powerful willpower can be, yet how fragile the physical body truly is. Crouch departed at age 72, but his resilience and selfless devotion will always remain a standard of living that anyone must respect. Sister Rosetta Tharpe. Before the concept of rock and roll was shaped by the world, Sister Rosetta Tharpe was already ahead of her time with her spellbinding electric guitar attacks and booming, commanding voice. She was not merely a performer. She was a musical revolution on stage, a pioneer who shattered every traditional norm of gospel music. Her illustrious career carried her across America and Europe, enjoying absolute freedom under dazzling lights. Yet in the early 1970s, the dark shadow of diabetes began crashing down, suffocating the free wings of a queen who once commanded every single performance space she stepped foot in. The ruthless diabetes not only eroded her health, but also brought about the most terrifying complications for a traveling artist. Following a severe stroke that impaired her speech, she faced the ultimate shock of having one of her legs amputated. From a woman brimming with energy, dancing freely and blowing the roof off stages, she now had to learn to live with severe physical limitations. Even so, Tharp resolutely refused to let illness completely extinguish her light. She continued adapting, striving to appear and perform within a narrower scope, fighting back against adversity with every ounce of pride she had left. From the perspective of our memory vault, the tragedy of Sister Rosetta Tharpe stands as a clear testament to the impermanence of fortune. The way diabetes and consecutive strokes struck her down right on the brink of recording a new album feels like an intensely cruel script. Her music never grew old, and modern trends could not defeat her, but illness managed to do just that. Her sudden passing at age 58 delivers a profound lesson on the finite nature of human life. It reminds us that even talents capable of shaking the world cannot remain forever proud before the laws of aging, sickness, and death. A deeply heartbreaking end for a pioneering legend. Albertina Walker. Albertina Walker was widely respected and honored with the title Queen of Gospel, standing as one of the most prestigious and deeply influential vocalists. She laid the foundational cornerstone for the legendary group The Caravans, while also guiding and mentoring numerous massive names into the spotlight. However, as she entered the twilight of her life, the very music that was once her breath was challenged by a stubborn illness. Walker began facing emphysema, a chronic lung disease that severely degraded her respiratory system, turning the act of uttering a single musical note into a life-or-death struggle. As time progressed past the year 2000, her respiratory health visibly weakened, forcing her schedule to shrink drastically. In her rare church appearances, onlookers watched with choked hearts as she had to carry an oxygen tank just to maintain a stable breathing rhythm between songs. There were even deeply emotional moments when she would manually remove her oxygen mask just long enough to deliver a pristine note before hurriedly strapping it back on to fight for every breath. The yearning to stand before her audience never faded, but the harshness of illness had stripped away a singer's most fundamental resource, air within the chest. Facing Albertina Walker's fate, the Our Memory Vault channel clearly feels the heartbreaking helplessness of humanity before natural laws. Illness did not steal her voice or her innate talent. Instead, it choked off every breath, forcing her artistic wings to droop in sorrow. Her hospitalization and tracheostomy in 2010 officially closed the glorious chapter of a musical monument. Through this, we gain an even deeper understanding and appreciation for the silent sacrifices of artists, those willing to burn right down to their very last drop of energy for art, even when their bodies are utterly exhausted. Walter Hawkins. Walter Hawkins left a deep imprint on contemporary music history as an exceptionally talented songwriter, singer, and missionary, globally famous through his blockbuster Love Alive projects. His vibrant melodies once brought healing to millions of lost souls. Yet unexpected tragedy struck when the malicious pancreatic cancer crept into his body, turning his final 2 years into a breathless race against time. Following major surgery in 2008, his resilient spirit seemingly helped him bounce back to undertake additional reunion tours with his family. What earned the public's immense admiration was this pastor's remarkably steadfast attitude in the face of adversity. Instead of drowning in despair, Hawkins turned personal pain into practical action by participating in cancer prevention campaigns and building community healthcare programs. Knowing well that the vicious disease was gnawing at his physical frame day by day, he still harbored grand musical ambitions and envisioned another Love Alive concert in his mind. That breathtaking optimism stands as a clear testament to a great personality, always looking out for others, even as he stood at the edge of the abyss. Under our analytical lens. Walter Hawkins's final chapter is a tragic yet heroic epic of love and devotion. Pancreatic cancer is notoriously known as one of the fastest killers, but it could only take away his life rather than conquer the artistic spirit within him. His passing at age 61 left a massive void in the hearts of gospel music lovers. We believe that Walter Hawkins's legacy lies not only in his bygone hit records, but also in how he confronted death with a proud smile and inner peace. Richard Smallwood. Speaking of piano melodies, blending with soaring emotional currents, music connoisseurs cannot skip Richard Smallwood, the musical genius who built a 5-decade career tied to timeless masterpieces. With 8 prestigious Grammy nominations, his compositions stretched far beyond church walls, touching global audiences through renowned artists. However, behind those healing melodies lay a soul, enduring deep wounds from severe depression, stretching back to childhood, compounded by the silent assault of senile dementia. Psychological pressures pressing down since the late 1990s once pushed him to the brink of despair, where waking up each day became a fierce mental trial. By the 2020s, mild cognitive decline and complex health issues stripped away his ability to directly create art from his familiar memories and emotions. The inability to continue sitting before the keyboard to compose or return to the studio dealt a fatal blow to an artist accustomed to living for music. Yet music itself served as the ultimate lifebuoy, pulling him out of the darkest storms of his heart. We believe that Richard Smallwood's life was a journey painted in gray shades of intense internal struggle between genius and disease. He fought not only declining physical health due to age, but also wrestled every single hour with psychological shadows haunting his entire life. His passing in late 2025 due to kidney failure complications closed a turbulent yet brilliant life. Looking back at that journey, the Our Memory Vault channel feels profound respect for an artist who used his deepest pains and hidden scars to transmute them into melodies that soothe the world. Clara Ward. Clara Ward was once crowned the queen of glamour and power in gospel music, leading the Ward singers to the pinnacle of glory. With an explosive, highly dramatic performance style and massive hit records, she turned every stage she stepped on into the center of attention. However, the relentless grind of work with a non-stop performance schedule across theaters and nightclubs drained the inherent physical strength of this talented woman, causing her body to gradually flash red alert signals of total exhaustion. The peak of her health nightmare occurred in 1967 when she unexpectedly collapsed on a Miami stage due to a sudden stroke. This tragedy temporarily stripped away her physical security, the very foundation of her illustrious career. Although her mother-cum-manager did everything to push her daughter back onto the tracks immediately after recovery, Clara Ward's body could never regain its original agility. Severe headaches and heavy lingering aftermaths pursued her relentlessly, turning every step of life's journey into a path filled with thorns and challenges. From the analytical perspective of our channel, Clara Ward's case serves as a stern wake-up call regarding the steep price of fame and endless artistic ambition. The cruelty of repeated strokes robbed a stage queen of her full opportunity to contribute while still in her prime. Departing at age 48, she left behind a massive musical legacy alongside profound reflections on the injustice of disease. We realize that no matter how dazzling glory may be, it remains utterly fragile before a body worn down to the bone by work pressure and time's cruelty. Mattie Moss Clark. Mattie Moss Clark served as one of history's most influential choir directors, composers, and musical style architects. She dedicated her entire life to traveling everywhere, teaching and directly training thousands of talented singers for major choir groups across America. Yet in her final chapter, vicious diabetes completely altered the landscape of this powerful woman's life, stripping away the dynamism and agility that formed her core brand. Her powerful leadership and relentless dedication had redefined what choral music could achieve, making her a towering figure whose influence stretched far beyond local congregations and into the national cultural fabric. In 1992, Worsening health conditions forced her to undergo a leg amputation. A deeply terrifying psychological shock for a working artist who required constant movement and active physical engagement. Following that were continuous strokes that bound the rest of her life to a wheelchair, entirely stripping away her familiar conducting authority before thousands of students who looked up to her. Even so, the steel spine of a music educator was never conquered by these sudden and heavy physical setbacks. She fought disease with unwavering grit, continuing to participate in late-career recording projects to inspire the younger generation, despite her body no longer being whole or capable of its former vigor. Under the perspective of our memory vault, Mattie Moss. Clark's story brings profound emotion regarding extraordinary resilience rising above physical adversity. Illness could rob her of her legs and agility, but it could never take away her burning passion for sacred melodies or her deep love for teaching. Her passing at age 69 closed a glorious chapter of modern choral art, leaving an irreplaceable void in the community she built. We deeply admire how she transformed her final years into a living testament of courage, affirming that human willpower can overcome the most ruthless boundaries of disease and despair. Clarence Fountain. Clarence Fountain dedicated nearly 7 decades to music through passionate melodies alongside the group The Blind Boys of Alabama. As an artist visually impaired from childhood, he turned adversity into strength to rise as a true musical leader, reaping countless prestigious awards and worldwide acclaim. His raw, energetic delivery defined the sound of hard-shouting gospel for generations, inspiring both peers and younger musicians alike. He was the pulsing heart of the group, carrying a tradition of soulful resilience that resonated deeply with audiences navigating their own daily struggles and hardships. Yet entering the twilight of his life, cruel diabetes began stripping away what had accompanied him all his years, the relentless touring rhythm across every highway in America. Heavy complications from this disease severely weakened his physical strength, forcing him to officially halt long-term touring in 2007, as his body could no longer sustain the grueling travel demands. For a singer accustomed to stage lights and cheers from global audiences, ending his traveling journey was a massive mental shock. Nevertheless, his fierce love for music never cooled within his soul, proving that true artistry extends far beyond the physical stage. From the analytical viewpoint of our memory vault, Clarence Fountain's story stands as a gorgeous symbol of an artist's fierce vitality before severe illness. Whenever health permitted, he returned to the studio to deliver his final deep melodies, showing a remarkable dedication that left us in awe. He passed away in 2018, leaving boundless grief, but his legacy of extraordinary willpower continues to inspire future generations. We believe that even though diabetes brought an end to his long journeys, his voice will live on forever within the minds of traditional music lovers everywhere. Lee Williams. Lee Williams stood as one of the most distinctive bass vocalists in traditional gospel quartet music, toiling along touring roads for decades with the spiritual QCs. Possessing a simple yet deeply touching performance style, he captured the hearts of millions of fans through deeply personalized musical pieces that spoke of perseverance and faith. His unforgettable delivery on classic songs became central to his group's identity, earning them widespread national prominence and a fiercely loyal following that spanned across multiple generations of devoted listeners. However, ruthless Alzheimer's disease chose to attack the very memory core of an artist, the vault holding every lyric, every note, and the stories tied to the group's illustrious career. In the late 1990s, the group hit its peak, but by the 2010s, visible signs of memory decline began surfacing prominently on stage, alarming those who cared for him. His performance portions grew increasingly shorter and sank into stillness, raising a heartbreaking question about an artist's fate as memories slowly fade. By 2018, he officially announced retirement amidst profound public regret, closing a legendary artistic journey with a string of emotional tribute concerts beside his close-knit teammates. From our perspective, the decay brought by Alzheimer's disease on Lee Williams carried a deep sorrow distinct from physical ailments touching the core of human identity. It not only robbed him of performance capability, but also erased the most brilliant memories of a person's life, leaving him to navigate a silent fog. When he passed away in 2021, closing a life fully dedicated to music, our memory vault felt deeply choked up before human helplessness against natural laws, while forever engraving a voice that touched listeners' deepest souls and left an enduring mark. Daryl Coley. Daryl Coley was once celebrated as one of contemporary music's most gifted innate vocalists, standing out with a massive vocal range and a performance style infused with subtle jazz undertones. His brilliant solo career in the early 1990s earned him countless awards, Grammy nominations, and widespread adoration everywhere he shared his extraordinary gift. He possessed a rare ability to blend technical mastery with deep emotional expression, creating a listening experience that felt both spiritually uplifting and artistically groundbreaking for everyone fortunate enough to hear him perform live. Yet a major upheaval struck when wicked diabetes took complete control of his life, silently robbing the talented artist of his health and eyesight. His medical condition worsened to the point of severely damaging his vision, forcing him to face a period of complete temporary blindness that challenged his very livelihood. For an artist requiring direct interaction with audiences and massive choirs, this physical shock was intensely heavy and painful. Although a portion of his sight later returned, long-term diabetes aftershocks continued grinding down his vitality, forcing him to abandon his dense schedule and enter a long, grueling, and exhausting treatment journey. Observing. Daryl Coley's final chapter. We witnessed the admirable resilience of a soul refusing to surrender to adversity despite overwhelming odds. Whenever his body allowed, he still found ways to return to music, preaching, and singing with whatever passion remained in his chest to uplift others. His passing in 2016 at age 60 left an unfillable void in the contemporary gospel community. Our memory vault believes that even though illness stripped away Daryl Coley's physical strength, the wondrous melodies he left behind will endure across time and continue to inspire aspiring vocalists globally. LeJeune Pace. LeJeune Pace was a defining vocal force in Atlanta, gaining global fame alongside her family group, the Pace Sisters, before reaping sweeping solo success with her remarkable talents. With her iconic signature song, she touched the emotions of countless music lovers worldwide, establishing herself as a powerhouse whose voice could shake the rafters of any sanctuary. Her dynamic presence and unwavering dedication to her craft made her a beloved figure in the gospel community, earning her the deep respect of fellow artists and a devoted fan base that cherished her unique artistic contributions. Yet the legendary diva's final years were blanketed by a prolonged, intensely painful battle with chronic kidney disease, causing her daily life to be entirely dictated by dialysis machines and hospitals. Throughout half a decade, tethered to artificial kidney dialysis while waiting for a fragile kidney transplant opportunity, she resiliently kept the flame of artistic passion burning inside her. She refused to let her medical struggles define the entirety of her existence, continuing to seek connection with her ministry and her music whenever her fading strength allowed her to do so safely. Under our memory vault's analytical lens, LeJeune Pace's life is an epic of endurance and ultimate love for music in the face of insurmountable trials. Miraculously, in early 2022, an old recording of hers suddenly went viral on TikTok, introducing her soulful voice to a brand new young generation of audiences. However, destiny did not grant her a medical miracle as her body finally succumbed to multi-organ failure in March of that year. Her passing at age 60 left deep sorrow, and we believe her music will live forever in the hearts of those who listened and understood. James Moore. James Moore climbed to the summit of musical success with the Mississippi Mass Choir, leaving a deep imprint through an extremely powerful, flexible, and spiritually rich voice. His hit records brought the group countless prestigious awards and wide professional recognition, establishing him as one of the preeminent vocalists of his era. He had a unique gift for moving congregations to tears and joy alike, using his extraordinary instrument to deliver messages of hope that resonated powerfully with thousands of listeners across the nation during times of great trial. Yet in the 1990s, when his career reached its prime, a sequence of consecutive medical disasters struck, stripping away the basic independence a touring artist dreams of possessing throughout their career. After bravely fighting and overcoming colon cancer, he faced the heavy shock of severe kidney failure in 1994, leading to complete blindness caused by toxin buildup. From an artist commanding major stages, he was forced to spend the rest of his life bound to a wheelchair and an intensely harsh schedule of dialysis 3 times a week, altering his reality forever. From our channel's analytical perspective, James Moore's story stands as a steel-clad proof of mental strength rising above harsh physical boundaries and personal despair, facing immense inconvenience and absolute pain. The artistic spirit inside James Moore never cooled down or surrendered to bitterness. He still strived to appear at major events and completed his final recordings to honor audiences before passing away in 2000. Our Memory Vault deeply respects an artist who fought until his final breath, leaving the world priceless and inspiring musical legacies that continue to shine. Roberta Martin. Roberta Martin held a vital position at the musical heart of Chicago, dedicating over 3 decades to industrious service as a brilliant pianist, composer, arranger, and leader of the famous Roberta Martin Singers. The spiritual melodies transmitted by her group became the golden standard of sacred music, while she also opened countless development opportunities for talented young artist generations. Her pioneering work as a publisher and mentor transformed the landscape of gospel music, creating pathways for numerous future stars to discover their own unique voices and build enduring professional careers. Yet in the mid-1960s, while her career stood at the height of prestige and influence, her health began showing serious signs of decline as a vicious cancer started brutally attacking her body. The rapid progression of her condition forced her to make the painful decision to temporarily retire from stage lights, withdrawing completely from the artistic space she loved and cherished all her life. For someone accustomed to living among keyboard sounds and colleagues singing, being severed from her core work was a massive and hard-to-accept mental shock that tested her emotional endurance to its absolute limits. Under our Memory Vault's analytical view, Roberta Martin's life leaves a deeply emotional sorrow regarding human helplessness before disease's harsh laws and unpredictable turns. Nevertheless, her artistic passion burned fiercely enough to drive her to execute one final, deeply emotional studio return in 1967 to record a piece imbued with hope before her physical strength completely vanished. Her passing in 1969 at age 61 closed a glorious chapter, but those pristine artistic values remain eternal in the minds of tens of thousands of loyal fans worldwide who continue to honor her memory. Bessie Griffin. Bessie Griffin is widely recognized as one of the greatest contralto voices of gospel's golden era, highlighted as an exceptional student of the legendary Mahalia Jackson. Possessing a rare, powerful voice, she stepped outside traditional church spaces to take sacred music and conquer major theater stages and nationwide television shows with unmatched grace. Her bold approach to performance broke down barriers between sacred and secular entertainment, proving that her immense talent belonged on the grandest platforms available to any artist of her generation. However, entering the 1970s, a series of heavy medical crises struck consecutively, pulling her away from the artistic path she spent decades of glorious youth building with unyielding dedication. Opening this stormy chapter was a severe heart attack in 1970, seriously disrupting her dense and grueling touring schedule and forcing her to confront her own physical mortality. Immediately after, her body endured an extended battle with dangerous peritonitis, requiring multiple tense hospitalizations and surgeries that drained her remaining physical reserves over prolonged periods of recovery. From our channel's perspective, Bessie Griffin's case is a heartbreaking proof of disease's gradual erosion upon a brilliant career built through immense sacrifice and labor. Although her resilient willpower helped her make occasional returns to international stages in the early 1980s. Ruthless fate dealt an additional fatal blow when she was diagnosed with breast cancer, when she passed away in 1989 in California, leaving behind a massive musical legacy. Our Memory Vault felt profound respect for a monument who fought adversity to the end, holding on to the flame of artistic passion until her final moments. Closing this journey of discovering emotional stories about 17 musical legends, We realize that while illness may rob them of stages and voices, their legacy and spirit of dedication will endure across time. Our Memory Vault hopes you experienced meaningful and complete moments with your loved ones at home. Do not forget to hit subscribe, like, and turn on the notification bell to accompany us through our upcoming unique, historical, and musical features. Hello, and see you in our next videos.